Different users will open workflow apps at various stages, and you will certainly want to apply some restrictions to specific fields for users at some stages of the workflow. One of the more obvious reasons for doing this is controlling who can make approvals. It wouldn't be much of an app if a user could enter and then approve their request. But there are plenty other reasons for restricting access to fields on your app. Applying access rules to your app will allow you to manage this. Before we start to apply any rules though, we should first look at the feature to introduce the essential elements of the app designer for this topic. There is an Object Overview section in the navigation panel on the left, where rules for access and mandatory fields can be applied. During this tutorial, we will focus only on the access rules. There are drop-downs where workflow stages and user roles can be selected in this section. Using these selections allows us to create access rules for specific combinations of stages and roles. There is also the option to choose all stages and all roles. This combination will enable us to create a general rule which can then be overridden by specific rules applied at different stage and role combinations. Next we need to look at the individual object properties. Select an object and in the Properties panel click to open the Access section. There is a drop-down for the different states that an object can have. Not all things have the same state options, but we can see them all in this example. Starting from the bottom, hidden of course means that the object will not be visible. Disabled objects will be visible but greyed out, and the users won't be able to modify the data. Read-only objects will look normal, but the users won't be able to modify the data in them. Normal objects will be visible and can have their data modified by the user. The default state needs a little more explanation. Be aware that we are setting the state of objects for when the app instance is opened at a specific stage by a user with a particular role. If we choose the default state, we say unchanged from the last time the instance was submitted. Although we will cover this in another tutorial video, the recommended technique for most objects, especially input objects, is setting some restrictions for all workflow stages and user roles. Then permit exceptions to this general rule and allow access at specific stage and role combinations. This technique will generally work well for simple and more complex apps. Before we close this tutorial, let's discuss how the workflow stages and user roles are defined, as they are critical in this feature. The workflow stages are defined in the workflow canvas, and for each instance, the current stage will change based on the conditions set on the pathways. This topic is covered in the workflow tutorial videos. The notify commands on the workflow pathways define the user roles. The role is defined in the General tab of a notify command. And in the Message tab, we will usually have included a link to reopen the app instance. This link has the defined role embedded within it, so in this example, when the link is clicked, the system will know that it's the manager reopening the app. The combination of the current workflow stage and the user role will then determine the state of the various objects on the app based on the access rules logic. That is covered in another tutorial video.